Hello everyone, I am Renowned Zero, and today we're going to be talking about this dude, pop counterculture, once again, going on and on, ranting about Eric July, saying a bunch of vile things. But we're going to start with this right here and this, just to kind of throw it in here, coming from us from Whip Reverse GoPo's Twitter account. If you're not following them, please do, to keep up with all this madness. I'll be covering this all the time. So we'll start right here. Eric July is this uncle and a token for white reactionary YouTubers who use him for reverse racism purposes. July hates himself. He's 100% this uncle and more. We'll go through the tweets here. The day I let these people determine what's moral and what's is the day I may as well delete my channel. No, you should delete your channel now because your channel is terrible. You as a person are terrible. You are very disingenuous. You are very liable for the BS you always talk about Eric July. And you're just an overall terrible person. I'm honestly so tired of all this reverse racist, you can't call our token POC and aunt, uncle, blah, blah, blah. You're not insert ethnicity garbage. The hell you can. July is 100% this uncle and more. Self-hating POCs are the worst and just downright baffling. Meanwhile, Eric has never ever denounced his race. He knows that he was born that way, has said it plenty of times, and realizes it's something he can't change. Although these people can change to not be total assholes and racists that they are. The fact that not a single person who's known to be anti-racist has said anything about that, or the obese primate remark says that nobody's buying it but their audiences. It's actually kind of given me a little faith in the online left. Now, the online left is typically a bunch of retards that don't know anything that they're ever talking about. I'm going to make sure I pull this up so you can actually see that I did read this from somewhere. It's right there. Pull this right back down. We'll move on to the next set of tweets here. It says, I called Eric July this term and have no regret because he works for the Blaze and argues against his community's best interests. No, he doesn't. Unless somebody like you says something, don't worry about it. This is actually the guy he made a video on. This is that dude with the hat, with a weirdo pencil neck looking dude. For the record, I called Eric July this term only after he went off talking about a close friend's children. It's not something he actually did. And again, they present no proof, no clip, or any such to the contrary. As always, I do not regret my reaction, because you're a racist. When you work for the Blaze and argue against your community's best interest, that is rather uncle this-ish. Unless someone who you know shares your values and is legit anti-racist, which is just, it's not a real thing, by the way. There's no such thing. Says something it's not worth worrying over. It's just straight racism and racist. Any randos coming at you probably don't actually care about this. It's a cynical game to them. Take it from me, I just went through this. Went through what? Being clowned on? Because that's the only thing you're going through right now is being clowned on because you're an idiot. And you're getting exposed for being a racist. A straight flat out racist. Oh, we're going to scroll up here. I think I actually did this one. Oh, no, yeah. This right here, this guy. This is the pop counterculture guy. Do not harass this person on YouTube or Twitter. Keep all your comments in the comment section down below. Do not go over there and harass them, but we're going to go through these videos, and I'm going to give my commentary on these. So he says, if I equally like PlayStation and Xbox, but I only save my PlayStation during a house fire, which one is my priority? If Disney was woke, why did they put a mask on Black Panther? Because the people in China don't like black people. That's why they did it, you dumb fuck. If you knew anything about anything, you would know that. But you don't. Your room temperature IQ, and you've proven it time and time again that you are. Because their priority is money, not woke agenda. If their priority was money, they wouldn't consistently censor things that aren't approved in the Middle East, aren't approved of in China, but they have to censor these things because they know it's not approved in those countries. Like the lesbian kiss at the end of the Rise of Skywalker, they had to censor and remove it for Middle Eastern countries because they know that stuff is frowned upon over there. But you're too stupid to know that. I'm gonna jump right into this video. Let's do it.
Concept of priorities here. I need to make sure that we both have the same understanding, right? if I say I like PlayStation and Xbox equally, let's just say I told you that, right? But
Uh-huh.
when my house was burning, I only brought my PlayStation with me. Which one of the two is my priority?
That's your choice.
Honestly, this has nothing to do with anything, but let's continue.
Which one did I take? I took the PlayStation, right? So then which one's my priority? It's come on, guys. This is my 6-year-old nephew can answer this, man. It's the PlayStation, right?
I mean, if you like PlayStation,
Well, I mean,
it
if it, well, it's
doesn't
not about
affect.
liking; it's about priority, right? I could tell you all day and night I like both of them equally. When it came down to it, I took the PlayStation because which one is the priority?
So if you're thinking now,
In all honesty, again, I'll say this is such a cringe argument and a cringe thing to bring up.
how does it play into why you don't
Dude,
think
it's
the?
just tell me which one is the priority. The one I
So if the
saved.
priority,
Which, by the way, both Sony and Microsoft are both woke to some extent, but Sony is way more woke than Microsoft, and that's the one you prioritize. You prioritize the more woke.
Oh, no,
to you is the PlayStation, that's
thank
on
you.
you.
Yes. All right. Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. Cool. Now let's
It's
put it
them
this way.
diverging.
Yes, that's all I needed you to answer, man. Okay, so
That's a
if
non-fall
Disney,
answer.
if Disney is woke, let's just say that was
Disney is definitely woke, considering what they did in the Proud Family on a recent episode talking about slavery to children. They race swapped Ariel in the Little Mermaid remake. Somehow they're not woke though. There are plenty of examples of it, my dude. You're just too stupid to understand these things.
their main priority. You know, if you believe that Disney is woke, then why did they fucking change? Why did they put a mask on Black Panther's face?
I've said this towards the beginning of the video. They put a mask on Black Panther's face in the China release posters, by the way. I don't know if he's referring to the movies, he might be referring to the movies, but in the posters, they put a mask on Black Panther's face for the Chinese posters because the Chinese people do not, in China, by the way, do not approve of black people.
Why did they fucking take Finn out the poster? That's not a woke thing.
They didn't take Finn off the poster, but they did shrink him down. They did shrink him down because, once again, it's a frowned upon race in China. There's a reason for that. It's because they're trying to sell more tickets in China.
To do right.
I wouldn't say that's not a woke thing. I think that's just at
It's a 100% woke thing.
the time when you're trying to appease China. That is not. I would not call
So at least he knows.
that a woke agenda. I would call that because at the time, Disney believed that it's
The main reason it's a woke thing is because they push all this narrative about diversity and inclusion, and then they go ahead and shrink the diversity and inclusion on the posters. They minimize the diversity is essentially what they do.
a. See, the thing about this is like, well, is your audience gamers and familiar with Blizzard just got kicked out of China?
Look,
Basically, due to do their.
you're focusing
This
too
is the
much on
thing.
this.
If you're marketing
this,
to,
man.
if you believe, right, Chinese are your main market. They're a money making market. They're not going to like to see a black person on a
Exactly.
poster.
Yes,
They're
not.
going to change
Yes,
that
they are going to change
image.
because what's their priority, man? The priority is making money, right?
And if
Yes, their priority could be making money, but lately it hasn't been because their agenda's been woke. And the reason they do it, as like the third time I'm saying it in this video, the reason they did it is because they don't approve of black people in China. It has nothing to do with money. Even though they're pushing to be more diverse and inclusive in their movies now, they still manage to do that. So let's move on to the next video, saying including the military and Transformers movies as virtue signaling, same as woke virtue signaling. Putting the military in Transformers has nothing to do with virtue signaling. You are an idiot. Well, let's get into the clip.
that.
I just told you how. I'm not going to repeat myself for you, man.
Oh yeah, I know. That
That's
is the
not
dumbest
fallacy.
fallacy I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, explain to me how it's a fallacy. Go ahead.
It's two separate things.
Woke virtue signaling is race swapping an original white character to be black, or race swapping a ginger character to be black. That's woke virtue signaling.
Okay, explain to
You
me.
say a military representation in Transformers
Yes.
is equivalent to basically a company becoming woke, or using or basically changing
The answer is it's not. Again, this guy's dumb.
their symbols out.
Because it's
Not the guy on the right. The guy on the left is dumb.
virtue signaling, yes.
I wouldn't call that virtue signaling because it doesn't
well,
make sense.
Because it's not.
Because
Alright.
if in the in-universe, which I'm going to assume you don't know much about Transformers,
Clearly not.
No, I don't.
if humans are going to be representative factitiously, right,
Okay, yeah.
you're probably going to have a military representation because that's the first people who are going to come in. And it's not a representation. That's just, oh, I need humans. Because I bring up...
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Like Michael Bay specifically is a huge military supporter, right? It is his creative artistic choice to have the military involved so that it can be.
Why wouldn't you have the military as a force? Because the idea is it's just a plot device. Clearly,
Well, the thing, yeah, exactly. You don't have to do it that way, right? You don't have to do it that way. But
you
Michael
can
Bay-
just.
but
You're not
Michael
just
Bay
gonna
did it.
have. You're not just gonna have the Transformers crash land. You
Okay,
either
but-
have
but-
the
but
you
what I'm
either
saying-
have the option of the Transformers arriving, wreaking havoc across the world, or you have, well, shit. There's a military response.
Yes, but what I'm saying.
That's like saying let's not put military in Godzilla movies. This is such a stupid argument.
Saying is you don't have to fucking portray the military 100% accurately either, in which case you're able to not work with the military
I can guarantee they don't.
and
To
do
be
whatever
fair,
you want.
I have never.
To
my knowledge, they don't really. They may approve. I've heard the theory that they're supposed to approve scripts, but half the time, if you think the military works the way it does in the films, no.
Okay, but
It doesn't.
regardless, the military still gets to
But
approve
that's
scripts,
that's
right?
a false
Look,
virtue
what-
signal.
It's still it's a virtue
not-
signal.
Yeah,
What's the
that's
difference,
No, it isn't.
man?
that's
Like,
a
you
very
still- you still
different.
have any
That's
rights
not
to
even. That's a
differences.
false claim.
That's not even virtue signaling. That's just plot armor. Stupid. Oh, God. It's like, again, like I said, it's like putting military in Godzilla movies. They're typically the first line of defense versus in the Transformers case, against the Decepticons, right? So it would be the first line of defense against Godzilla. Come on now. Next clip. Eric July is an uncle because he criticizes the success of black actors who take opportunity away from white actors, despite the fact that market doesn't allow any avenue for success other than taking over already established characters. Original characters don't sell. Okay, this guy's dumb.
No, but I'm not trying to target you here. I'm fucking targeting Eric July, so you don't have to worry about that. Just answer the fucking question. Look, when it comes to Eric July, right? Look, if he understands the basic premises of capitalism, then he understands the concept of supply and demand, right? If there's no demand for something, right, and you try to supply something nobody wants, who's gonna fucking get it? Who's gonna want it, dude? Nobody. Listen, it's stupid. Eric July's whole argument. Let me get to it. Eric July's whole argument and why I think it's okay to call an Uncle Tom is that it's okay to fucking hate
It's okay for you to call people racial slurs. Got it.
on these black actors because they're taking these opportunities because they used to be white, blah blah, whatever. You know?
Yeah, it's called tokenization. It's called giving the black man a sloppy second of an original white character. In some cases, not all cases.
If you look at the current film market, hell, if you look at
Because that's exactly what Eric July be talking about when it comes to black actors playing roles. He's typically talking about a tokenized version of an original white character, giving the black man sloppy seconds instead of making original characters or even using characters that are originally black.
the film market, or even the comics book market, TV, all that over the past 20 years, original characters do not sell.
No Way Home came out. It made $1.8 billion. Spider-Man is an original character. You retard. Joker Original character. Made what? Over $1 billion. That was an original character in an origin story movie. In the last 20 years, literally all of the MCU made money on original characters. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Loki, Thanos, all original characters. Not a single one of them were race swapped. And they made loads of money. So what the hell are you talking about? You sound stupid. Captain Jack Sparrow, an original character. Multi-billion-dollar franchise in Pirates of the Caribbean. What are you talking about? I can go on and on how stupid that argument is.
They don't. Original movies don't sell. Right? Simple as that. Original characters don't fucking sell.
So you're
Spider-Man sells. His comics sell. Batman sells. Superman sells. What are you talking about?
gonna go.
So listen, the point that I'm getting across is this. The reason
Not the new garbage Superman, though. The original Action Comics used to always sell.
why Eric July is an Uncle Tom is that he constantly criticizes the success of other black people for this.
No, he criticizes the fact that black people take on roles that they know are tokenized versions of original white characters.
This whole idea that they're taking over roles that quote unquote used to belong to white people and shit,
That's
right?
not what Uncle Tom means.
Let me get to it, right? When the market does not allow any other avenue for success other than to take over an already established character, right? If
Wrong. So much wrong, dude. Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, all original characters. Some were not, but they've made loads of money on original characters in the last 20 years. What are you talking about?
the black person is going to succeed in the current film market, they're going
You just need to lose some weight, because I think you got too much fat in your brain to think clearly about what the hell you're even saying.
to succeed because they're taking over a character, not because of some woke agenda, but that's because that's what the audience wants, baby. That's it. It's simple fucking.
The audience does not want a tokenized version of a character. This is why characters like Miles Morales get consistently rejected in comic books. He may not have been rejected in, Into the Spider-Verse, because they actually did a better job of, how's the word? Fleshing out his character in the movie, unlike the comic books. But for the most part, nobody cares about tokenized versions of original white characters. They just recently did it with Cyclone in Black Adam. No one cared.
Capitalism
The
and
movie was a flop,
fuck.
unfortunately. I think we got one more clip right here. Let me just check real quick. Yeah. Got one more clip to go through. Let's get into it. So he says, this uncle is a black person who turned in, people to their owners when they were trying to run away. Eric is an anarcho-capitalist, hates his own people, his own race, his own kind, himself. Yeah, because he definitely said it multiple times that he can't change who he is, can't change the color of his skin. He's married to a black woman, by the way, and somehow he hates his own self and race, but okay.
As a fucking anarcho-capitalist, someone who has to understand the basics of capitalism to be an anarcho-capitalist understands that. So
He obviously understands the basics of capitalism, considering he put out a product that made $3.7 million, put in his own money into creating this product, didn't actually crowdfund it, which these people believe that he crowdfunded it, which he did not. He put his own money into it, he's been very transparent about it, and these people just continue to be disingenuous about it constantly.
So you're going to define, by the way, you're going to define an Uncle Tom that way.
Homie. I'm not done talking. The reason why it's okay to call him an Uncle Tom, right, is because he understands the basics of supply and demand. He
It's never okay to call anybody that.
understands that
but go on and continue to be a racist dumb fuck.
These fucking original characters are not fucking selling, and he's out there fucking shitting on the success of other black people.
Clearly, an original character sell, considering he sold $3.7 million worth of product with more than one original character in Isum, Yaira, the Alpha Core, San Antoine. Come on now, bro.
People, right? Because they're not succeeding under a fucking premise that he thinks is fair, even though the fucking market doesn't support it, and he knows it. So yeah.
Once again, Spider-Man No Way Home made $1.8 billion. Had all original characters. Except for Electro, he was tokenized. But whatever.
Yeah, dude. If you fucking hate on the success of your own kind of people, right? Because of some puritanical fucking hang up, and then you make an entire career where you just hate constantly on the success of your own race, of your own kind. You know?
I have no idea where you see this in people.
Because he doesn't see it. He's just making up bullshit.
Because it doesn't fall into this bullshit fucking rubric that, let's face it, is pushed upon mainly by a white audience and not by anybody else. You know? Yes.
By a mainly white audience. Yeah, I didn't realize Eric July's audience didn't consist of the two genders and multiple races and backgrounds from all over the world. So you just assume that his audience are all white. I would assume you think all of Jeremy's audience are white. The erotics audience are all white apparently too. The quartering's audience is apparently all white as well. And anybody else you decide to criticize, you probably think all of their audiences are white. I'm Puerto Rican, so go fuck yourself.
Yes. It sounds like you hate the success of your own kind, and if you do that, you're kind of an Uncle Tom.
He doesn't hate the success of his own wife, who's black. He put an ad for her stuff in his comic book without her asking, by the way.
So that's why I am justified in
That's
saying
not
that.
what that means. That's what you.
You're not justified to call anybody that ever, no matter what you think.
To call him a grifter.
I know what an Uncle Tom.
Although you can if you want to, but you just out yourself as a racist, which you have multiple times already.
Is, bro. All right.
What is it?
It's called. You know, Uncle Tom is someone. It's a historical fucking term for a black person who turned in their fellow slaves to their owners when they were trying to run away. It's inherently a traitor, is what it means, right? Yes. Yeah, dude.
Finally got there.
If you're constantly fucking ranting against the success of your own fucking people,
That's literally not what he's doing.
you know, you're a hater. You hate your own kind.
Once again, married a black woman, doesn't hate his own skin color, knows that he was born with the skin color, knows that he can't change his skin color, but somehow still hates himself and his race.
Simple as that. You're an Uncle
And you
Tom.
didn't know who
should-
Blurred
you
Without
should be-
Fear was.
The fuck's that guy? Okay, to call Eric July and Uncle Tom is because I, as a Mexican, I like seeing other Mexicans succeed. As long
That's great for you. No one actually cares. You should probably see yourself succeed by going to the gym and losing some weight, fat ass.
as they're not fucking like doing like drugs or whatever, dealing drugs or human trafficking, cool. I like seeing other people
So you're saying that that's what your race does. Wow.
of my race
Wow.
succeed, even if it's like whatever, you know. If I were to fucking hate on the success of my own kind because like, well, that could have been a white person's job. Don't you think that'd be a little sus?
Not really. We're talking about source material. Eric July consistently talks about source material. The reason he has gripes with things like Helmdall being black, considering that the world of Asgard is based in Norse mythology, which they were all white. Which is why he has a problem with this type of thing, because he hates most tokenizations like these. He said it over and over again. Not all tokenizations are equal. He said She-Hulk was the best example of how to do tokenization correctly, in a good way. Because she's her own character. She's not a complete copy. She's not a complete copy of the Hulk, aka Bruce Banner. Unlike Miles Morales, who has the same exact origin and the same exact mannerisms and powers as Peter Parker, who actually is Spider-Man. So These are the type of gripes that Eric July has. Once again, people like you are consistently disingenuous because this is the all you can be, because it just shows that you are just an utter garbage human being, because you fail to give the evidence of the claims you're making. You fail to represent Eric July in the correct way based on things he's actually said, and you go on and on about your life, and you think nothing bad should happen to you, or libelous, we'll say, because you just feel like saying things that are not true. But that's all my video will be here today. That'll be the end. Thank you all for checking out this video. If you did like the video, hit the like button. If you have any comments, leave them below in the comment section. As I said already, do not harass this guy on YouTube or Twitter. Keep all your comments in the comment section down below of this video. Subscribe for more content like this. Hit the bell for notifications. Set it to all, that way you get notifications anytime I post a new video, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.